What's good, midlife trucker crew? Tom Bell here, your former suit-turned-truck driver, bringing you another dispatch from the asphalt jungle with my patented blend of sarcasm, wit, and questionable life choices. This week, I added another state to my map. California, baby. That's right, I rolled through the land of avocados, traffic jams, and dreams that cost more than my rig. That brings my state count to 32 this year. Only 12 more to go in the lower 48 before I can say I've hauled freight in every corner of this fine nation. Who needs a bucket list when you've got a GPS and a fuel card, right? Will I hit all 48 this year? The chances are not good. Now let's talk about something that'll make every trucker's eyes roll harder than a loose tire on I-80, detention. Oh yeah, the dreaded hurry up and wait game. This week, I got a front row seat to that nonsense, but here's the kicker. Cheeseman, my company, actually pays detention. I know. Pinch yourself, it's real. We get paid after 1 hour at an LTL stop. Less than truckload for you newbies, and 2 hours on a full truckload. Not bad, right? But let's not throw a parade just yet. Detention is the trucking industry's equivalent of being stuck in line at the DMV, except you're in a sleeper berth. And the only entertainment is your own thoughts or a sketchy cell phone data signal. For those who don't know, detention pay is the industry's way of tossing you a few bucks for sitting on your keister while shippers or receivers treat your truck like it's their personal storage unit. It's supposed to compensate you for the time you're not rolling because, time is money. And I ain't out here for the scenic views of loading docks. But here's where it gets spicy. Detention pay is as consistent as a weather forecast in a tornado. It varies wildly depending on what you're hauling. If you're moving high-value cargo, like electronics or pharmaceuticals, you might get some respect and a decent detention rate because nobody wants their fancy gadgets or life-saving pills stuck in a warehouse. But if you're hauling, say, a load of potatoes or discount furniture, good luck, pal. You're going to be parked so long you'll start naming the pigeons at the dock. And don't get me started on the differences between LTL and full truckloads. LTL stops are like speed dating. Quick, chaotic, and you're out of there before you know what hit you. That 1 hour detention window kicks in fast, which is nice. Full truckloads, that's a whole different beast. You're waiting 2 hours minimum, and sometimes it feels like you're auditioning for a remake of Waiting for Godot. You just sit there, twiddling your thumbs, wondering if the warehouse crew forgot you exist. Pro tip, bring a book or a podcast because staring at the back of a loading bay door for 4 hours is about as thrilling as watching paint dry on a Peterbilt. Now, across the industry, detention pay is a mixed bag. Some companies are stingy, making you wait 4, 5, even 6 hours before they'll toss you a dime. Others, like Cheeseman, get it. They know drivers are the backbone of this operation, not just glorified babysitters for their freight. But even with decent detention pay, sitting in the sleeper berth isn't exactly living the dream. Sure, it's a break from driving, but it's not like you're sipping Mai Tais on a beach. You're in a truck sleeper with a bed for a quick nap or iPad for some TikToks or YouTube videos. So, why does detention happen? Well, it's usually because the shipper or receiver is running their operation like a clown show. Maybe they're understaffed. Maybe the forklift guy called in sick. Or maybe they're just prioritizing someone else's load of artisanal kale over your trailer full of auto parts. Whatever the reason, you're stuck and your logbook is ticking like a time bomb. The worst part? Every hour you're sitting is an hour you're not making miles. And in this game, miles are what keep the lights on. But let's be real. Detention is just part of the gig. It's like dealing with rush hour in Atlanta or fuel pumps that take 20 minutes to fill your tank. You grumble, you cope, and you keep on trucking. So here's to the 32 states I've conquered this year, the 12 still waiting for my grand entrance, and the endless adventure of life on the road. Now it is time to get to the part for which you came, my numbers for this week. First, we'll talk about my logs for the week. I was paid for 2,275 dispatched miles. I had 2,338 logged miles. The days in orange, I was on a paid 34-hour reset. Let's look at my unedited pay statement for period 21 of 2025. This includes all trips from May 11th to May 17th. Detention paid $121. Empty miles paid $7. Hazmat miles paid $89. 34-hour resets paid $200. Loaded miles paid $1,499. And stops $132. Total earnings for this week was $2,048. 21 weeks into the year, my gross income is $47,555, and my total miles is 60,674. That averages out to $2,265 per week and 2,889 miles. Estimated out over 52 weeks, my estimated annual is $117,756. Year-to-date numbers as of week 21 of 2025. I've been paid for 60,674 miles, covering 32 states, making 148 stops. 95% of those miles have been loaded, averaging 78.4 cents per mile. Here's the home time that I've taken this payroll year. Through the end of the 20th week, I have been on home time 14 times so far, totaling 34.2 days. I also have 5 overnight breaks at the house and 8 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I am not paid hourly, but let's calculate like an hourly job. For the week, my gross pay was $2,048 for 37 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 37 regular hours and 0 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $55.22 per hour. For the year, my gross pay so far is $47,555 for 1,211 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 809 regular hours and 402 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $33.69 per hour. Taking a look at the if-only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page. 21 weeks have gone by so far that totals 3,528 hours. I have been at home 820 of those hours. That works out to 2,708 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 21 is $47,555. That works out to $1,756 per hour away from home.